I came into this tournament just looking for revenge after the last time.
You know, you got to overcome adversity. It's dealt in front of us every day as a fisherman.
I started the year off in 140th place after the first tournament, and I've just started battling my way back into it.
Every angler on the FLW Tour has a story.
This is a major step. I mean, this is a life-changing deal for us, me and my family, and yeah, I've got butterflies.
No one steps onto this stage without putting in years of hard work at countless local tournaments, Saturday jackpot events, and Tuesday night team scrambles.
You have to really be on your A game as far as mentally.
But once you get to this level, the pressure becomes much more intense.
You know, I kind of pride myself as getting a check every single time, and it kind of aggravated me a little bit.
You have sponsors that expect success, and you have families depending on money finishes.
We have sacrificed so much to make this dream happen.
And you have 160 other anglers facing the same pressure. Professional bass fishing will test your faith in yourself and your determination to win.
Got you one.
At the halfway point of the season, all these challenges are in sharp focus as a new face rises to the top.
Buddy Gross in the lead.
With 159 other pros looking to knock him off the perch. Who will claw their way to the top 10 here in northern Alabama? Who will put money in the bank? Who is going to pass the test and hold the trophy high?
Put him in there, Bunny. Great start to this tournament. 5 in the bag. He's your tournament leader right now. Let him hear it.
The second half of the Walmart FLW Tour season is underway.
There you go, buddy. That's a good one.
And Pickwick Lake is the playing field for some of the best anglers in the country. Part of the storied Tennessee River chain of lakes, Pickwick has long been a reliable fish factory, and most anglers have been looking forward to working the ledges for the large schools of bass that migrate out after the spawn.
Number one, big enough. Pickwick's a really good lake. You know, we're kind of in between patterns a little bit. You know, the shad spawn is still going on, and I've been capitalizing on that every morning.
Even when we're here, when they're on the ledge, is really, really strong. You can go to the bank and catch a lot of fish on the bank. Right now, you can't do either. Like, I can't get off the bank and catch a lot. I can't get on the bank and catch a lot. It's like they're hung up in limbo.
It's getting summertime, and those fish are moving out the ledges. You can pull up like the first day of the tournament. I mean, I pulled up, and in 35 minutes, I had 22 pounds. You know, you can do that all up and down this river when it gets right. You know, this week, it's a little bit off. There's still a lot of fish shallow. There's more grass than there's been in the past, and it sort of scatters them out. But it's still a great fishery, and got lots of big bass in it.
When the bass are in transition, it creates the opportunity for someone to find them in some unlikely places. And over the past 2 days, Buddy Gross has pinpointed some giants that no one else found in practice.
I'm telling you what, man. Sack of fish right here if I've ever seen one. 25-8 today for you, buddy. Ain't nothing tough out there, is it?
It's tough. I didn't give it 6 bites all day.
The right ones. He's your tournament leader right now. Let him hear it.
Buddy is starting to put some distance between himself and the rest of the field as we go into the weekend cut. 20 anglers will fish on day 3 with the heaviest cumulative weight determining the final 10 who will compete on the 4th and final day.
I've been fishing what I would consider a staging place. They're coming off a bed and they're running a little creek channel out to some flats that I might fish some isolated cover. It keeps reloading. I've been only getting 5 or 6 bites a day, so I'm hoping that I get some more today. I mean, it's few bites that I've been getting. I'm trying to make sure that I got some left. I don't know yet.
Last time we were here, I caught a whole lot of them on the main channel itself. This time I kind of had to do a little detective work per se and go where I knew they were coming to, but go towards the bank a little bit to try and find where they were in between. But now we've got this weather this weekend. I think some more are going to come on out, so maybe some more will show up.
Pickwick Lake is a thin, winding lake with tall bluff walls and deep, clear water. Traditionally, the thing that has separated this lake from other notable Tennessee River impoundments like Guntersville and Wheeler is the lack of grass. It has made the ledge fishing the most dominant pattern, and the smallmouth bass often factor into an angler's bag during the day. But grass has made a comeback on Pickwick, and that is exactly what Buddy Gross has been targeting every morning of this tournament. Isolated clumps of eelgrass, which the post-spawn females use as a feeding stop before making their way out onto the ledges.
They're sitting here getting ready to go out here
to their deep location for all summer. They've been in spawning. They're coming out here trying to get away from everything and rest all week long. Everybody between here and the towers up there, they've all been up there on that flat. They're just coming here to stay. It's kind of we call it a staging place, and you find that kind of place. You find them early in the year. They'll load up on it going into spawn, and this is that kind of place. They'll load up on it coming in, and they'll load up on it going out. Kind of been fortunate all week too. Those boys downriver fishing, all those deep spots have had so much wind they couldn't sit on their stuff either. Well, today they're gonna get to sit on them. They could really catch them, so we got to catch them today. That's a big one. Come here. Golly. That was a disaster. We'll get a few more of them. We're gonna be in good shape.
Pickwick hasn't had that much grass until the last couple of years. It's got more grass right now than I've ever seen this time of year. And it's really got those fish scattered out. They love being in grass, and I mean, a lot of fish will stay in it all year long. But, you know, if you get on down on that lower end and get away from the grass, there is a lot more fish moving on the ledges down there, moving out deep. And, you know, that's where I spent my tournament. I'm on the very lower end of the lake. Bingo. 5 of them. We're back in it.
Scott Canterbury, fresh off his win at Beaver Lake, is fishing with confidence and showing his versatility. Scott Suggs has won a Forest Wood Cup, being versatile back in 2007. Fast forward to this season, and he had a shaky start, finishing in 99th place at Okeechobee. Scott says he understands how important it is on the Tennessee River to be at the right place at the right time when you're fishing for post-spawn bass. He's been targeting grassy flats where the shad are still spawning, throwing that War Eagle spinnerbait in about 6 feet of water. Fish number 2 for the day is decent, but he's going to probably go look deeper for some better quality bites.
I've got one place that I started on yesterday. I've said since day one, if I could get 5 bites off that a day, that I could win. I mean, my average size off of it's probably a 4.5 to 5 pounder. But the problem is I've not caught more than 3 in one day. For whatever reason, after 10 o'clock, I have 0 bites. I can still see them on the graph. I can catch them in other places, but right there on that particular spot that I know I could win off of, I can't get them to bite up in the day, which has been a real problem.
Don't jump, don't jump, don't jump.
After 2014, I was pretty disappointed when I came in second to Hackney. I mean, I thought that was mine to win, and he won it off a shallow place to beat it all. So, I mean, that kind of took a lot of wind out of my sails, but this time I came into it looking for revenge. And I was going to come into this one do or die. I was going to fish offshore. Whether or not there was 10 fish out there or 1,000 out there, that's what I was going to fish. Catch 4 more like it right there, we're going to be in good shape.
I think I put 24 hours, 30 hours idling looking for schools this week, and I actually only found 3 or 4 schools, and they weren't real big schools. They was kind of small, and I think with the north wind blowing against the current, the fish aren't setting up like they're supposed to really bite and be aggressive, and it's really hard to make them bite. You know, you get one to bite, normally it's on and you can catch a couple, but out here this week it's not been the case. It's really tough to get a deep fish to bite, but you know, when he bites, he's a big one. You know, he's 5 pound plus. You know, it's some really good quality out on the ledges right now. You know, just if we had a little more current, I think things would really get wide open, you know, any day now.
Jamie Horton carefully working that big crankbait for a healthy Pickwick largemouth. It's important to keep the line tight when you're bringing in a bass from so far away, as oftentimes that crankbait will just barely have them hooked, and you don't want to lose a big 5 pounder in the tournament.
He's got a 5 bass limit today. We need to see some Pickwick bass. There you go. Wow, man, that's what it's all about. Jamie Horton has made just about every cut this year. He's got 5 today, 17 pounds and 3 ounces. Jamie Horton has got the lead. 3 years on the Walmart FLW Tour, and he's qualified for the Forest Wood Cup every year. 16 pounds and 14 ounces, new leader, Michael Neal. Here we go, Buddy Gross To take the lead from your traveling partner and roommate, Michael Neal, you need 8 pounds and 1 ounce. 22 pounds and 12 ounces. Wow! His lead is 14 pounds and 11 ounces.
Can this first-year Tour Pro pull off the biggest win of his life? Buddy Gross is staying calm under the pressure, but there has to be some doubt as to whether or not his isolated eelgrass will hold up for a 4th day of fishing. If he stumbles, there are 9 other anglers willing to step into the void. Stay tuned to the final day of the Walmart FLW Tour on Pickwick Lake.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by You Can Get More From Your Oil with Quaker State. General Tire. Anywhere is possible. BRP Evinrude. Learn more at evinrude.com. Ranger Boats. Still building legends, one at a time. Minn Kota. Anywhere, anytime. And by Costa Del Mar. See what's out there.
Just remember, if it's tough on you, it's tough on everybody. So don't let it get you down. Good luck.
Thank you. Scott Suggs is certainly helping Buddy Gross focus on the biggest fishing day of his life. It's the Walmart FLW Tour on Pickwick Lake, presented by Quaker State, and Buddy leads 9 other anglers on this championship Sunday. He is hoping to bring home a big paycheck, and even though he holds a tremendous lead, he has no plans to coast to victory.
Day 4, I got a good lead. Just not gonna stop fishing. I can't get, I can't let them catch up. So I just got to get hard after it. I'm gonna, kind of do the same things I've been doing. Just try to get a good limit and finish it off today.
I've been in second all week. I got a pretty big hurdle to overcome, about 15 pounds more or less, and it's gonna take a monster bag to catch him, I believe, but they are out there. Last time we were here, Hackney weighed a 30-pound bag. 30, he weighs in 15, and we got a shot.
You know, with Gross with such a big lead and everything, his roommate, Michael Neal's in second place. They're gonna be battling because if, hey, Michael's capable of a 30-pound bag on this river because he knows it so well from living on Chickamauga. So if he stumbles, he does have Michael over his shoulder, but see what happens at the end of the day.
Well, at the beginning of the day, there's a lot of daylight between Buddy and everyone else. And it would be an epic meltdown for him to lose this one today. Suggs is 22 pounds behind Buddy, so realistically, it falls to Michael Neal to mount the challenge.
I got to really catch him today just to make sure we can take this thing home.
I'm just starting on shell bed this morning just for the simple fact these Tennessee River fish, they're known for getting on these shell beds, especially right after that spawn. It's a big spawning flat right out here in front of me. This is one of the first places those fish are gonna pull to as they pull out. I'm throwing up in like 5-6 feet and setting the boat out here in like 20. We're gonna start here. If it doesn't work, we're gonna go to a shed spawn. Dang. Stay on, fish, stay on. That's a begging. Stay on, baby, stay on. The first area I've been starting on each morning, we've had no current. There's been no current. But the wind finally today was calm, and I was able to pull up there and turn my boat because those fish naturally point into the current. I was able to pull up and fish it with the proper way this morning. Big smallmouth. Oh gosh, get in it now. Yes, what a way to start. Big smallmouth. Whoo, what a way to start the morning off. Yes.
Scott Suggs starting his morning with a kicker bite, and I'm guessing he's going to work over the shell bed a bit longer before looking for any shad spawning. Meanwhile, just south of the Natchez Bridge, Buddy Gross is finding things are a bit slower. When he made the decision to step up and compete on the FLW Tour, Buddy had primarily been competing on Lake Chickamauga in East Tennessee, but he always believed he had the knowledge and the skills to be successful anywhere in the country.
Might have to switch some stuff up today. We really needed this thing to produce a couple this morning. At any day this could end. I just hope it didn't pick today.
I'm really just trying to find these fish. It's hard for me to just pull up and fish a place and not know if they're there or not.
Michael Neal is one of the rising stars in this sport, and he got to know Buddy through the tournaments being run out of the Dayton area and offered to help Buddy make the transition to full-time pro. Helping line up sponsors and sharing his experience by traveling together, Michael has shown he believes in Buddy's fishing skills.
Might as well. You know, Buddy's a great guy. I've known him for several years, and I came up with this idea that me and him should travel together and go have fun and kind of work together and help each other out throughout the year. He's helped me out, definitely at Beaver. He keyed me in on the bait. Here, I kind of keyed him in on a bait. So it's a good working relationship. I mean, it's not just me helping him, he's helped me as well. We're on the board. Not what we need to catch first, but it's a fish in the boat.
Me and Michael room together at every tournament, so we've been staying together, and it just kind of helps us keep our flow going, and we can kind of not tell each other where fish are, but tell each other what's going on the lake, kind of if we need it. I don't know what's going on today. They ain't moving no water, ain't no wind blowing. It's just dead.
Competitive bass fishing is a risky proposition under perfect circumstances. And for Buddy, it's become his biggest bet on himself as he and his wife lost their jobs last year, making this tournament all the more important.
Anybody who thinks this ain't tough, be leading on day 4 and don't have a fish, as many fish as I've caught in the morning. All them boys at home know how bad I'm dying inside. We have sacrificed so much to make this dream happen. And yes, my wife and my daughter, my mother, everybody 100% is behind me. I just ain't seeing much. We've put everything on this to see if it works. Oh, it's just killing me. I'm doing this for us. It's not about me. It's not about the gratification. I mean, I want to win, but more than anything, I want to make us stable. And this kind of win, it puts us in a better place. I'm still not going to change up. I'm going to fish everything I fished yesterday, and if I have to add a little bit, I'll add a little bit, but I'm not leaving this core area right here.
Buddy's really and truly one of the best fishermen I know. He's around home, Gunnersville, Nickajack, Chickamauga. Anytime he shows up to a tournament, he's just about a favorite to win. I would say this out here on Pickwick, this is really his game. It's got grass, it's got ledges, it's got everything he wants, and it's setting up perfectly for him to win.
Whew. Boy, I tell you what, that right there means a lot to me right now. That means a lot.
Buddy had to move away from his main area to locate that bass. Will this get the Buddy train moving this morning? The Walmart FLW Tour continues when we return.
Close. Don't even think he'll keep. What's he doing out here?
Not big, but one step closer to 5.
It only takes about 5 minutes to catch them if we get on them. So that's a good thing. We can fish all day without a bite, and it'll all change in 30 minutes.
Buddy Gross is being patient with this slow start this morning. It's the final day of the Walmart FLW Tour on Pickwick Lake, presented by Quaker State. And while many pros are catching good fish, the leader is having to adjust his game plan.
My pattern has died. It is completely gone. I cannot get a bite in eelgrass today. Not a bite. It went from on fire to dead. It didn't have no taper off. It just died.
Normally the fish is sitting out off the bank about halfway between here and the boat, about 7 foot of water. We got the boat about 11. That's why I'm slow rolling this 3/4 ounce spinnerbait. The bite's been kind of deep. All the bigger fish, I've caught 5 and 2 4s. There was a lot more shad. So I don't know, I'm getting a little concerned now because, I'm not just throwing a spinnerbait down the bank, I'm fishing the shad spawning. And the shad aren't here very good. The fish may be moving. But just last night might have been the night they moved. Get up in there, boy.
Jamie Horton connects with a Pickwick brute as his tactic of chasing the shad spawn continues to pay off for the Alabama pro. This fish right here gives him some weight to build on and renews his confidence in his pattern.
Good one. Take it.
You're very thankful and blessed you made it to day 3, and then you make it to day 4, and that's what's frustrating about it, is like you've done good for 3 days, and then now it feels like you haven't closed it out. Even though you may not win, but you did the best you could do, you know, catching them and stuff, and that's the frustrating part, is when they don't bite and your mind's going 100 miles an hour and you're like, what do I do? Do I change or do I stick to what I caught them on? I was in 10th yesterday, coming into day 3, went from 10th to 5th. Now I'm about to be back at 10th if I don't catch any fish. There's a big difference in money in 10th and 5th. Every spot we move up is what, $1,000, $2,000. So basically, you know, if I can move up to 3rd or 4th or 3rd, you know, you're looking at $1,000 a fish basically for that. And you know, with me sitting in 5th.
It's a big one. That's a good one.
I think there's only a pound between myself and 10th place. I'm in 6th. 10th is a pound or less than a pound behind me, maybe 15 ounces. I think I'm 9 or 10 pounds behind 2nd. So roll the dice and try and come in 3rd or 4th. You know, it's quite a bit more money, $5,000, $6,000 more. Every fish is worth $1,000 up from 10th place. Big one.
Travis Fox has got the money game on his mind. In an event like this, when the leader is way out front, you have to give yourself a goalpost to reach. And for Travis, as well as Barry Wilson and some of the others, that goal is simple. Make as much money as possible on the final day. Travis is getting all he can handle from this largemouth. He's really going to have to earn his money today.
Come here, you big devil. I got you for my mama. Ha ha! Woo!
Pickwick Lake is full of 5-pounders like this one. Finding the 6s and 7s has been a bit tougher. Mike Sermon has been looking for his bass in cover that is very similar to what Buddy has been fishing. Isolated grass clumps that post-spawn bass stop to feed at on their way out to their summertime ledges. He's working the main river about mid-lake today, slow rolling a spinnerbait.
I keyed this week on the middle part of the lake. The middle part seems to have a little bit better grass, if you will. When you get further down, the grass kind of goes away. And that grass in the middle part of the lake is really good, green, fresh. And the fish, you know, it's got plenty of oxygen. There was shad everywhere in there. And so there was everything that the bass could need. I was fishing it real slow rolling it down, ticking the grass, and all of a sudden it just loads up. And that's the greatest feeling in the world. It's like a freight train when they hit that spinnerbait when you're slow rolling it. And you know right away it's a big one. I mean, they just start pulling, they do everything, you know, it's just, you just kind of like power them out of that grass. And when you get one, then you get excited and you know, hey, I got one. If I can only catch 2, maybe I could have a shot at this. Not a bad fish. I'll take that one.
Good little old ditch right here. It's a 10-foot hole, 10-foot ditch comes up there where it's got grass that's still growing in that 10-foot though. It's kind of unique because it tapers, and then it comes out here in 10-foot and it's got grass that's a little bit lower, and then it comes back up on the other side. I've caught 1 or 2 here every day, but they've not helped. But today they can help. All I want is another fish for Christmas. Right there, baby. I know she's 15, so let me make sure.
Buddy's fish does measure, and that keeps his nerves settled. This lake is just getting warmed up today, as we've seen several good ones caught on spinnerbaits. Who's going to make some money today, and who's going to stumble? It's championship day on the Walmart FLW Tour on Pickwick Lake in Florence, Alabama.
That feels like a bass. It's 4, working on 5.
Oh, Brownie! Oh, Brownie showed up.
Catching a limit is key, so important.
I can't believe I can't catch fish today. This is brutal.
It's getting tougher on our leader, who has only 2 fish in his live well so far today. And that's giving Michael Neal a chance to catch up to his traveling partner and good buddy, Buddy.
I don't know whether to go up there and fish the grass the rest of the day, try to get me 3, or sit right here and try to make sure I win it. You know, it's decisions. I know I can't win if I don't have 5, so I may just change everything up and try to get to 5. I've always said you can't win if you ain't got 5.
Looking at how the field is spread out over the lake, Buddy has completely abandoned his key area up by the Natchez Trace Bridge. Michael Neal is working the mouth of Bear Creek, searching for bass moving out onto the main river, and Scott Suggs is chasing a shad spawn above the bridge, a pattern that has produced well for him this week.
I just moved to another shad spawn here and I picked up a spinner, or kind of it's a swim bait on a spin head. We had a whole week of practice of heavy cloud cover, rain, different conditions, and the wind in the right direction. Those bites were a lot easier to come by. This week when the tournament starts, swaps directions, fronted went through, sunshine, and for me, myself, to go out and be able to hack at them and hack at them and hack at them and figure it out and be able to catch enough fish to make this top 10 and finish wherever I wind up, hey, I'm proud of my week. Stay on, fish, stay on. Stay on. Stay on, baby. Oh yeah, she stayed on. She stayed on. That's what I'm talking about. Oh gosh. Here we go. It ain't no giant, but it's a nice one.
I'm fishing shade, I'm fishing a bluff bank. It's got a lot of shade on it. Just a little breeze on it is good. It really don't matter. I feel like I can catch them there. I just got to be patient and take my time. When you fishing a spinnerbait 7 foot deep to get a bite, you just got to go slow with it and be patient and hope it happens. Looks good right here with this wind chopping on this bank. The shade's getting smaller, which should put the shad up closer.
Horton has been dedicated to his pattern, and that dedication has produced all of 2 bites so far today. Even though this is a bit of a dink by Pickwick standards, it keeps him in the top 5.
I think it'd be all right. Just barely over.
Started out pretty calm, but once it got real tough, I've been stressed just to try and get 5. The whole day I've been worried about getting 5 ever since my starting spot didn't work out. I still don't have many, but I know if I keep grinding, I may have to pick up a drop shot, I may have to keep long lining this crankbait. Whatever I gotta do, I know by the end of the day I'm gonna have 5 fish in this boat. There's one. I came into this tournament just looking for revenge after the last time. I had some history here, I knew where the fish were going, I knew what I wanted to do. I'm an offshore fisherman, I was coming in, live by the sword, die by the sword. That's what I was gonna do no matter what. If I zeroed, that's where I was going. And I really want a win to come on one of these, and I'm sure it will sometime soon. Yes, sir. It's number 5 right there. Not big, but I am very proud of him today.
I'm shooting for a top 5 finish, and to do that, I'm gonna have bigger fish, and that's why, my only chance of moving up or catching the big one, I haven't caught any on the ledges, so I'm gonna go to the bank and do what I do the best, and that's just fish the bank, flip. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, freak! God dang, that's a big one.
when you're pitching, you always want to make sure you got an angle of retrieve to get the fish back out. Well, I did have that angle of retrieve, but it caught one of those little dead sticks on the rosebush. Instead of fighting, you know, going away, it turns and comes back toward me, and when it turns and comes back toward me, it breaks the limb. When it did, it created about 5 or 6 foot of slack, and I couldn't, you know, them blues are fast, but I couldn't get caught up fast enough to get choked with it. And it jumped right by the boat and it just came off. It just, you know, it's one of them deals where you can only jerk and wind as fast as you can, and that's it.
Wesley Strader giving us the perfect breakdown on a missed fish. Meanwhile, Buddy Gross is still in the lead, even though he's only got 2 fish in his live well. Will Michael Neal turn up the pressure? Or perhaps Scott Suggs? It's the Walmart FLW Tour on Pickwick Lake. It's getting wild on the Tennessee River as the final day of the Walmart FLW Tour continues. This event presented by Quaker State.
I've only got 2 fish still. I have tried everything I know to do in this area to try to pick me up a couple more keepers.
Buddy Gross, leading the biggest event of his career, has left the door open for someone to catch up to him. And right now, Michael Neal is the only one closing that gap.
I'm gonna run back over here to where I found some fish earlier. I had 2 bites, no hookups. I know there's good ones down here. I caught them there the last time. I'm gonna see if I can get me a good bite. I'm about 1 or 2 fish short for the day, what I needed to make a run at this. I know some good ones are. I've caught some this week, called everything out. But it's been a tough day, I can tell you that much. God almighty. I'm reeling my bait in and I see 2 shad on top of the water, which was something I've never seen before. And all of a sudden they dart out about the time my swim bait gets there and my rod just loads up. And I knew this was a big one right away. As soon as I set the hook, it comes up and jumps. Yes, sir. And I said, my gosh, what a fish. This is huge. This is definitely the one I need to make a run at this thing. I just said if they'd bite, I could call everything in the live well. That's what lives out here on Pickwick. Giants.
I think I'm way behind. I think I'll probably be beat. For the first time in this tournament, I think I'm beat. I just feel like they're catching me. Ain't nobody running around. I ain't seen them soul come by. So what stinks is everybody sitting right here in front of me knows exactly whether I'm in good shape or bad shape right now, but I don't. I'm tired. Just my luck. Smallmouth. That's what you need right there. Oh, I thought it felt good for a minute.
Current doesn't affect me. The wind really doesn't affect me at all either. It's more of a spawning flat. It's a huge area. I'm making zigzags, making circles. Actually, I can see the fish on my graph with my Lowrance electronics, and I can go over them, and occasionally I can throw back to them and catch them. Now, if I can be so blessed as to cull out that smallest one, we'll be doing really good. Gosh. 5-pounder. 5-pounder.
There's some fish here, we'll get them to bite. So they've been here all week. Caught a 6-pounder here the first day and a 2-pounder here the second day. I idled across this shallow point, about 13, 14 foot deep, and had a pretty good school of fish up there. And normally, I mean, them fish there, they position to bite. The rest of the fish we've been fishing for today has been off the side of the ledges. And they can be hard to catch, but these here, they at least setting up there where you want them.
Jamie Horton got to start fishing BFLs back in the mid-90s and fished over on the Bassmasters side of things for a few years. His first season on the FLW Tour has certainly been a success, though. He finished 3rd on Lake Hartwell and is in great shape for a solid finish at this event.
The way I look at it, Fishing today, every fish you catch is $1,000. Now I got 2 good ones. If I could just finish out a limit, at least end up pretty fair.
Mike O'Neill's 6-pounder puts him within 1 good bite of catching Buddy Gross as the game clock on the water is running out. There's still more to come though, and 1 cast can make all the difference. Stay tuned to the Walmart FLW Tour.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by GoPro. This is your life. Be a hero. Motor Guide. Trolling motors engineered for top anglers. Walmart. Save money. Live better. Find, navigate, dominate with Lowrance HDS and Structure Scan 3D. Power Pole. Swift, silent, secure. And by Mercury Marine, #1 on the water.
Man, this is killing me. All I need is 1 bite.
I hadn't fished real shallow in the last 2 days, and I think that's one thing I am fixing to go do.
Every one of them down there is probably a 4-pounder or better. We can make a run at this real quick.
Right size, wrong species.
When we drifted across them, I seen a bunch of them just in.
10 men doing work today out on the beautiful waters of Pickwick Lake in northern Alabama. The big story so far is our leader, Buddy Gross, who still only has 2 fish in his live well with almost 8 hours spent on the water. This is quite the contrast from the first 3 days when he was catching 22 pounds before 9 a.m.
Water's been dead. I ain't seen anything graft, anything. I've seen a lot of bait, a lot of stripe, but just no largemouth. I think we're a little light today. We got about 30 minutes of fishing if I want to push it. It's about over. I wished I'd done a little better today. 10 was my goal today. With the bags I've been having, that goal was low, but I was trying to make something that I could achieve. And when I got there, I was wanting to enjoy the rest of the day. And then instead, I don't even get close. Look there. Trash fish daddy today, son. I think I've left the door wide open. I feel like I have given the tournament away.
Ledge fishing, it's all about timing. And so today, up in the day, I was kind of in a little struggle. And so I got to paying attention and I noticed the wind had shifted. And when the wind shifted to where I was able to pull up on these, current breaks and stuff on these ledges and properly make my cast and come with the current, I was able to go and start fishing that pattern. It's all about mental. Everything is between your ears more about catching fish. There's a lot of luck. I mean, don't get me wrong, luck plays a big role in it. But hey, whenever it's between your ears and you're focused and you've got confidence in what you're doing, don't go listen to the doc talk and all that. You play your game, and however it ends up is how it ends up, and that's how I focused all this week. Son, what a good one. What a call. Oh my gosh. Mother's Day kiss. 'Cause that's a mama.
This fishing is a grind. When you come out and do this, you have to make sure you had a good night's sleep, which I didn't, because you're not going to get in very many bites in a day. You're lucky if you get 5 bites in a day. That may be all you get. So you have to be able to pay attention the whole time, and you just keep grinding and grinding and grinding. When you get a bite, it's going to be a big one. So you just can't afford to miss it. So all I've been doing is just casting and casting and casting and trying not to fall asleep. Oh, got. Oh. Hang on, honey. Thank you, Lord. My little Yozuri crankbait came through again. That's a nice one.
Buddy and I have been probably 10 years we've known who each other were now. And he's either got one or two things going through his mind right now. He either knows he's got it won, or he's sweating that I'm gonna beat him, one of the two. That's a big one. We got 10 minutes left to fish, and I might have to leave him biting. That's another good solid upgrade right there.
Mike O'Neill finished second here back in 2014. Can he catch one more upgrade to secure a win? Find out next.
Well, that's it, folks. It's time to go see.
Fishing time is over, and now it is time to bring the bass to the weigh-in at beautiful McFarland Park in Florence, Alabama.
Pretty successful day. You know, it just wasn't easy to catch out there today. There's a lot of fish out deep. I actually saw more schools today than I've seen all week.
I wound up catching one really big one and one decent one right at the end of the day that really makes my whole bag.
I could see fish and stuff, but I didn't. I just never got a bite, so I figured I've got bait, but did all I could do.
Stephen Pautek has 4 today, worth 7 pounds, 4 ounces. Peter Talaveros. You got some people out there that love you, Peter T. 3 today, 6 pounds and 6 ounces. Mike Sermon, here we go, man. You came in today in 8th place. You need 25-13 to take the lead from Buddy Gross. A limit of bass worth 20 pounds even, moves you to 2nd place. Wow! Yeah, baby, here we go. Wesley Strader got a 5 bass limit today. 12 pounds and 6 ounces moves you from 7th to 3rd.
Will you welcome to the stage, Travis Fox.
And here we go, wow! He has got 3 today, worth 12 pounds and 4 ounces. That moves you from 6th to 4th. Barry Wilson, he has a 5 bass limit today. 13 pounds, 4 ounces, moves you to 3rd place. Nice bag of fish. Former Forest Wood Cup champion Scott Suggs. He's got a 5 bass limit worth 18 pounds even, moves you to 2nd place. Jamie Horton, the guy who has made 3 cuts out of the 4 events this year. You need 18 pounds and 3 ounces. 4 bass, 13 pounds and 9 ounces.
That's what lives out here on Pickwick.
Can Michael Neal take over the lead from his traveling partner, Buddy Gross, and put himself in contention for the win? To take the lead from Buddy Gross, you need 14 pounds and 12 ounces. 5 bass limit. New leader, 16 pounds and 8 ounces, 71 pounds and 4 ounces. Woo! Buddy Gross, you gotta bring me some, man. 25 pounds, 8 ounces on day 1. 21 pounds and 3 ounces on day 2. 22 pounds, 12 ounces yesterday. Had you in the lead with 69 pounds, 7 ounces of Pickwick Lake bass to be crowned champion of this event. You need 1 pound and 13 ounces. You have 2 fish today. 2 worth 4 pounds, 14 ounces. Your champion is Buddy Gross of Ringo, Georgia. Wow! 74 pounds and 5 ounces of Pickwick Lake bass. $100,000 richer. It's Buddy Gross.
Today was the biggest roller coaster of my life. I mean, I knew I needed to catch at least 10 pounds to feel safe. You know, Michael is a true competitor. He is one of the best fishermen I know. I had actually found a long bar running off the bottom of one of the islands down here, and it had some eelgrass growing. Eelgrass is kind of new to this lake probably, and a lot of people didn't even know it was here. I found the eelgrass with my Lowrance electronics, and I could see the fish setting up on it. What I would do is I'd see them, turn around, make a cast. If I caught one, I know I could go back and catch them on that one. So I just found a bunch of them, all those fish except for 2 that I weighed in come off that stretch.
Your champion, Buddy Gross, gets it done on day 4.
Buddy Gross, who put it all on the line to see if he could compete out here on tour, has become a champion. Thanks for watching FLW, and we'll see you next time out on the water.